are back and we're live at the orca encounter here at SeaWorld San Diego. And today we are celebrating National Zookeeper Week, and we're doing what we love to do best, and that's simply hanging out with our orcas and having a lot of fun. So this morning, all of our behaviorists are spending time just interacting and playing with our family of orcas. We have Kasatka, our matriarch, along with her kids, Nakai, her son, Makani, her son, Kalia, her daughter, and of course, the cutest little whale here, her granddaughter, Amaya. So we're going to get you a little bit closer and show you how our behaviorists interact and just simply play with our killer whales here at SeaWorld San Diego. So over here on the left is little Amaya. She's a little over 2 years old and she's hanging out with Jen. Jen, what? I know there's so many things, but give us one thing that you really love about this little whale.
I love Amaya's playfulness. She is so adorable, and I especially love watching her play with her uncle Makani. They are the cutest little peas in a pod. They play so well together, and it brings joy to my heart and life every single day that I get to see these guys.
So tell some of our fans that maybe they saw you just gave Amaya something. What was that and why?
A little chunk of ice, and that is one of Amaya's favorite things. She loves her little pieces of ice, and her little ice cubes and snowballs are one of her favorites too.
Now, does she need to have that fresh water?
No, they actually get all the hydration they need from the fish that they eat. That ice cube is just something that she enjoys, the temperature of it or the texture of it, something like that she really seems to like.
Very nice. So in a little while, we're going to actually turn on all of our sprayers for our orcas, and we have found that this is right now their favorite enrichment that we have to offer them here at SeaWorld. So there's different types of pressure with the sprayers, and they choose where they want to go and where they want to interact with those sprayers. So we'll get those started in a moment.
Kristi, I have a question from fan Allison. Can you still see the orcas at SeaWorld?
Thank you, Allison, for asking this very important question. Probably the most important thing we want to share. And please share this video with all your friends and family. Yes, the orcas are here in San Diego. They're in our Texas park in Orlando. So more important than ever, these animals are helping us to understand more about the two ecotypes that we have in our SeaWorld parks. So yes, they are here. They will be here. The only thing that has changed is we have changed the way we're showing these orcas to our guests and to you, our fans. So Orca Encounter is a brand new presentation. It's more documentary style, and I am surprised at how many people walk away not only understanding more about the killer whales, but they can actually tell me something that they learned. So it's really been a great opportunity.
Fan Anya, this might be a very difficult question for you, Kristi, but I think I know your answer. Who is the cutest orca of the San Diego pod? Did you see that? She's like, how dare you even ask, Kat? Do you know?
Well, they're all adorable. You know, Amaya, like Jen said, she just has a really fun personality, and wherever we are, that's where she is. She just really has connected to her behavior, so she just has a funny personality. The Makani also has a very vivacious personality. So does Kalia. I mean, all of the whales just have this different personality, and they show it to us in a variety of ways. But of course, my favorite whale is Kasatka, and we're going to see her in a minute, and I'll tell you why she's my favorite whale. So let's see, Makani went over here. So Michelle's really getting into this. So she's playing with Makani. What's your favorite thing about Makani, Michelle?
Makani holds a special place in my heart because he was the first killer whale that I ever saw being born. So he's right here, and I've worked with him every day since then. And I gotta tell you that he just melts my heart. He's so fun. I can't tell you that he is just fun to train. He's as soon as he learns something new, that's the only behavior he's gonna do for you for the next week because it gets stuck in his head. And he wants to show off that he just learned something new. So it's really comical. He just makes up his own behaviors. He thinks he always knows what he's doing when he follows the other whales. But he's just so much fun, and he's being very good. You've been sitting very still for a 4-year-old. It's really hard for a 4-year-old to sit still. So I think he's interested in looking at the camera. Aren't you, buddy? You are. You're being very cute. So we just have a lot of fun together, and it's just like keeping a 4-year-old occupied. It's a lot of work. So I think I'm actually going to take off that way.
Well, before you go, Michelle, she mentioned that she had the opportunity to see Makani born. So once Amaya was born, Makani was in the pool because he was with his mother, Kasatka, which is Kalia's mom. And it was very important that Kalia's mom was there to help her with her firstborn. Well, Makani couldn't engage in some of the behaviors that we ask him for on a regular basis because we wanted to keep everything nice and calm for the new baby. So he actually made up a behavior on his own, but we've actually paired that behavior on a signal, and we're going to show it to you because I think this is probably one of the most adorable behaviors. Hopefully he'll do it, of course, but we'll show you his tail wiggle.
Okay, don't look at me, look at him, all right? No, you're
Let me take the camera cat and we'll get a little closer because you need to see his peduncle.
Come right here, buddy. All right, you ready? Okay, shake it.
Well, he's got the head part down, but we're looking for that tail wiggle. There it goes.
Amaya's joining in on the fun.
Amaya's doing it too.
There it goes.
There he
There he
goes.
goes. Hopefully you can all see that. Throw out those heart emojis if you can see his cute little tail wiggle. So funny. So he made that behavior up on his own, and he would come over to the acrylic windows and show all the behaviorists. And animals do learn vicariously, meaning they learn from each other. So Amaya has also picked up this little tail wiggle. Is she still doing it?
She was watching her uncle a minute ago. There she goes.
There we go. So a lot of fun to show off these different personalities, and every day they amaze us.
Hey Kristi, I think we have a lot of Amaya and Makani fans with all those heart emojis, and Fan Davina said, love Makani style, he has his own flair.
Absolutely. Great description of Makani. Well, this is Tori. She's hanging out with Kalia. So Tori's new to our team, and she's been building a relationship with Kalia.
Yeah, we
but
have.
you probably not surprised that you build a relationship pretty quickly because we spend a lot of time with them. But in the time that you've been interacting with Kalia, Tori, what is your favorite thing about Kalia?
I think my favorite thing is even though she's a petite whale, she has a big personality and she actually reminds me a lot of myself. I've always been little, but my mom's always told me I have a big personality, and I think that's just the way Kalia is. And I also love the way that she interacts with her daughter, Amaya. She's always teaching her new things, and I love to see the interaction between mom and daughter.
Aw, very sweet. Very nice. Okay, we're moving on down here to Vicky. And Vicky is hanging out with a couple of her favorites. So on her left is Nakai. And Vicky's actually been working with him since Nakai was born. And we might need a little more time because Vicky has a lot to say about Nakai. So what's your favorite thing about Nakai, Vicky?
Everything. No, I have been working with Nakai for a long time now. He's actually the very first whale that I worked with when I moved here to the Shamu Stadium, or the Whale Stadium. And so I've been hanging out with him and knowing him for a really long time since he was a kid. And I still can't believe how much he's grown, and he's pretty awesome, and I do really enjoy him a lot.
Yes. He is a sweet boy. And it looks like Kasatka just swam over. She can probably hear that we're getting ready for those water sprayers to go on. And that's okay. So what we're doing right now is just interacting and playing with the whales, and so they can choose to do whatever they want, but I want you to get a good look at Kasatka. She's having a great day today. And it looks like she's swimming and taking a look at all of her family. And as I mentioned before, she is my favorite whale for multiple reasons. Not only is she a great mom, but she really teaches us so much about the dynamics and the social structure of our killer whales. So it looks like some of the sprayers are going on, and that's where Kasatka went. She's on the far side of the pool. I'll try and get you some more good views of her. But I also want you to have the opportunity to see the whales interacting with these sprayers. So it looks like Makani's over here playing with the sprayer. So hopefully you can see. We're going to get our cat's phone wet.
It's worth it, it's Makani.
It is worth it. I'm going to give this back to you. You can probably get a better view. You see Nakai up there?
Yeah, fans, do you want us to get closer? Send those heart emojis. We'll bring you a little closer. There we go. Whoa!
enriching for the animals, but it's all salt water. So we're actually using the water that is generated for the pool. So it is 100% clean, and we're recycling this water throughout the entire day. So we can leave these water sprayers on all day long. It doesn't affect the quality of the water.
Those heart emojis, we love seeing them, fans. Again, we're live in San Diego. We have Kristi, we have our fellow behaviorists, we have our family of orcas playing with the water sprayers. Let us know if you are enjoying this session, and we will stay live longer.
Well, I'm going to answer a question that I know is probably on your minds as you see the whales interact with these sprayers is, can these sprayers harm them? Well, absolutely not. In fact, the sprayers that we used to have, we noticed that the whales would really not interact with them very much. So, look at Nakai right now. So, he's doing that on his own. So, if that was harming him, he wouldn't engage. But that's one thing that we've learned, as the lighter pressure sprayers are not that interesting for a 8,000 pound killer whale. But what is really interesting is these different pressure points. The sprayers have different pressure that's coming out of them, so you'll notice them interacting more with the sprayers closer to our slide out area. Those are higher pressure. And look, Kasatka's over there on the porch over by the far end of Orca Encounter. And she's going up and getting a nice water massage.
Watch your head.
Oh, good.
What's that floating in with them,
So
Kristi?
those are some new enrichment devices. An EED, or environmental enrichment device, is just a fancy word for a toy. Of course, it is a little more difficult to create enrichment for killer whales because they can be very destructive with the toys. So these are just round, hardened plastics that a company has made for us, and we have found that the whales seem to really enjoy pushing them around, putting them on different body parts, and also sharing them with one another. So we'll see them toss them over into different pools and share them with the other whales.
This is so cool that we get to just hang out with you and your team, Kristi, and we get to see what y'all enjoy so much about working with the orcas.
Well, you know, Kat, this is the part that people don't see. They see the one-on-one time that we spend with the whales. We are here from 7 in the morning till late at night, ensuring that these whales are not just properly cared for, but our care and commitment to these animals are just world-class. So these are our favorite times because this is where the trainers build that connection with each of the whales. You'll also see, well, what are the whales doing? Are they hanging out with their behaviorists for ice cubes? Are they engaging with the water sprayers? Amaya, and it looks like, no, Kalia. Kalia's over there with the water sprayers. And Kasatka, oh, she came over to get a rub down from Michelle. So it really helps us to understand them more. You know, they can go do whatever they want right now. So it really helps us understand what type of enrichment they really enjoy.
Okay, let's see if we have any future marine biologists, future marine scientists, future behaviorists watching this broadcast right now. Could we see those wow emojis if we have those future marine biologists and future behaviorists joining us in this broadcast today? And fans, thank you for sending those hearts. Thank you for sending those likes. Oh, Kristi, do you see it? You see those wows?
That is awesome. Yeah, that's good because we need a lot of really dedicated and passionate people to continue the work that we do here at SeaWorld. So I love to see all those wow emojis. And for all of you future marine biologists, whatever you do, if you love animals, make sure you do something that you're passionate about and make a difference for animals. And there's a variety of ways that you can do that.
Kristi, what do you think? Let's move up and show our fans a wider view of what the whales are doing here. We'll move for you, fans. Hey, Kristi.
Yes.
I want to share a comment from fan Alex. There is nothing better than sitting here watching these amazing orcas while sitting here in treatment for my cancer. Stan, Alex, we're so happy that we get to share these fun moments with you.
Oh, Alex, that is just amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And these animals touch so many people, but to hear that from you and knowing that that's helping you through your day and helping you through your challenge that you have is just incredible. So thank you so much for sharing that. If you're ever close to SeaWorld, please get in touch with me. I'd love for you to be up and close with these animals, because it is so great to share them with you via Facebook, but I gotta tell you, there's just nothing like being up close to them, looking them into their eyes, hearing the vocalizations that they make. They really just touch our hearts every day. So Alex, a special invitation to you. If you have the ability to come to SeaWorld San Diego, get in touch with us. You can contact Kat, and we would love to give you an even special moment with our whales.
Fan Alex says, thank you, Kristi. Okay, comment from Fan Aubrey. Who is the largest whale in San Diego? I haven't been in 7 years.
Well, the largest whale is Ulysses. He is a male. He weighs in at close to 10,000 pounds. And then our largest female is Corky, and she weighs in at just over 8,000 pounds. And Kat, I don't know if you can get a close-up.
Yeah.
Kalia has a big ice cube, and she's sharing
Okay,
it with everybody.
let's show our fans. Let's get closer. Oh no! It's floating! Okay, Kristi, you said that orcas have personalities, yes? Like Makani, he has a certain flair. So who among our family of orcas do you think is the funniest? Does Makani win that title?
Well, Kat wants me to say yes.
Makani's my favorite.
You know what? I would say Makani, just because he just really, every day that whale makes us laugh at the things that he does. And like Michelle said earlier, he really invents his own behaviors at times, and we just love that because it really just shows how creative he is. But in his creativity, of course, it's very funny to all of us. I'll give you an example. That's him right there. Maybe he'll do it, but you see the water jets over here closer to us. Most of the whales go up with different body parts. They get a water massage. He actually will jump over the water jets. And he's the only one doing that. So, you know, he does everything with his Makani style. So, I'd have to say he's our funniest. There's Kasatka.
Okay, we have an interesting question. Do whales sunbathe?
Do they sunbathe?
Yeah.
No, they don't need to sunbathe. They have a protection within their skin. But it is important for them to keep moving and to stay wet. If we had an animal that we're spending a lot of time at the surface, then we would want to make sure that we're doing different things with them to engage them and stimulate them. But they do rest at the surface, so that's normal. But you'll see our animals will have different reflexes, and they will move their bodies around to continue to get that water to cover them. But no, they don't sunbathe like a pinniped does, like a sea lion or a walrus or a harbor seal.
Between Makani and Amaya, Fan Rose is asking, who's the quickest learner?
Hi Rose, thank you for being a longtime fan of ours. The quickest learner. Well, let's see. That's probably debatable between which behaviorist that you ask. And of course, Makani's coming over here. I would say that Amaya is catching on pretty quickly, but all the whales, to me, have similarities in how fast they learn something. I think it has to do more with the complexity of the behavior than it has to do with the individual cognition of the whales.
Fans, thank you again for sending those heart emojis, those likes, those wows. We love them. And we're live from SeaWorld San Diego, just hanging out with our family of orcas. If you are enjoying these longer broadcast sessions, let us know in the comments so we can do more for you.
Well, to celebrate National Zookeeper Week, we really wanted to give you more time just hanging out with us and see the things that we do. These observations that we're making right now are incredibly important to the work that we do with each of the whales. And of course, building that connection and that bond with our whales. This is one of the many ways that we do this.
We have a question from fan Britt from the Netherlands. Lots of love from the Netherlands. What kind of fish do they eat, and do they get salmon too?
Yes, our whales eat salmon, but in addition to that, they also eat herring, mackerel, capelin, and sardines. So each one of the whales has a specific amount of food that they get every morning, and that's why we're in so early, because we have a whole team in our back area preparing this restaurant quality and sustainable fish. They then bring that fish out to us, so we do another inspection on the fish, and then we weigh out every single pound of food that goes out to our orcas. And their food mix of the different fish is broken up based on age and also size of the animal.
Kristi, our fans are loving our longer broadcast sessions. Who's that? Who's that playing?
Makani.
Oh, Makani.
So Makani, let's get closer.
Okay.
So Makani's playing with one of these new enrichment devices. So he's placing it over his rostrum, and then he was going over and putting his peck into the water sprayer. So of course,
is that Makani?
That's Kalia closest to us, and then Makani's on the inside, along with Amaya.
Of course, when we come close, they're like, not today.
There's Kasatka and Nakai. So they just made a swim over to the far sprayers. Looks like they're coming back over here. Let's try and be prepared and get into place. So that's Kalia and Amaya.
And this is just them on their own enrichment time, right, Kristi?
That's right. So all of our behaviorists are away from poolside, so we're just observing the animals and, you know, seeing what part of the pool they're interacting with, what enrichment devices are they interacting with, and then just keeping an eye on them and watching them have fun.
We want to give a shout out to the parents watching the broadcast with their younger ones as well. I know it's like an online classroom for them too, and we love that you enjoy them.
Oh, that's great. And you know, while we're hanging out, if you have any questions about the orcas, please send them our way. We'd love to answer them. Of course, we can't answer all of them because sometimes we get a lot, but we'll do our best. The waterfalls also are a great enrichment. You know, the waterfalls are there. It looks really great, but we also see our whales go into that little slide out area, and they'll actually rest there and then get an awesome water massage from the waterfalls. There's Makani, he's getting his enrichment ready. It's like, hey Michelle, don't leave.
So Kristi,
Yes.
when you provide ice to the orcas, what is that like for them? Is it another form of enrichment for them?
It is a form of enrichment, and it's something that we've conditioned or trained the whales to find rewarding. So we have two different types of rewards called primary and secondary. A primary reward is something an animal needs to sustain life, and that's food for our orcas. But there's also secondary reinforcement, which is something we've paired with something that's innately reinforcing like food. And then of course our animals are social, they engage, they're very playful and curious. So we can put in a new enrichment device and the whales may just examine it or stay back from it and maybe not approach it. But as they spend more time, or even better, if a behaviorist interacts with that enrichment device with them, then that enrichment device produces its reinforcing quality. So not all the whales like those toys that you see in right now. Not all the whales like ice cubes. So it really is our goal is to understand what do they find rewarding, and then also we'll condition those different items to be rewarding as well. So many years ago, the way that we keep our fish fresh is to put ice. And while feeding a dolphin, some ice obviously is in with the fish, and we noticed that Sandy, who still lives here at SeaWorld San Diego, was playing with the ice, rolling it around the back of her throat. We thought, wow, you know, this could potentially be a nice reward for our animals as well. So we've conditioned all the animals to find ice, small ice cubes, large ice cubes. We also have snowballs, water pours. So each of them have their different levels of liking those secondary rewards. You see her stick her tongue out at us. Yeah. It was so funny. She, along with Makani and Kasatka, all do this behavior. So when we're moving around cleaning the area and the animals are on their own time, Kasatka, Amaya, and Makani will swim by and kind of stick their tongue out at us like, hey, are you looking? It's so funny.
Fan Miranda is asking, what is your favorite thing about Kasatka?
One favorite, well, there's many things that I just love about her. One is, it takes more time to build a relationship with her, and I think that has a lot, he's going to throw his toy out. I think that has a lot to do with her matriarchal position. She does have a certain stance, a certain behavior, a certain posture with the other whales, and we see that same type of posture with our behavior. So I really like the animals that you really have to spend a lot of time building that connection with them. Another thing that I love about her is she's just such a fantastic mom. You know, she's had 4 calves here at SeaWorld San Diego. Watching her teach her young, one of the things that she does, which we've shared before, but for people who may not have heard this, when her babies are young, and she's also done this for her granddaughter Amaya, when we feed her salmon at a certain age, she'll actually bite the tail off and give the tail to her babies. That just warms my heart. It's just like a mom and her kids, you know, you share your food, and we've seen her doing the same thing.
Okay, fans, we'll do the broadcast closer to the center so we can get a higher view of what's going on. Again, thanks for all of you who are staying tuned in with us live here at SeaWorld San Diego with our family of orcas. Okay, Fan Anya has another question. Hi, Kristi. Hello from Florida. What do you love about your job?
What do I love? Well, the animals, of course. I really love teaching the whales new behaviors. That's what we're doing right now. You know, it's so special. It's a great opportunity to spend this time with them and see how they interact with one another. But one of my favorite things is teaching the whales behaviors that we can relate to learning more about them. So we've completed about 8 studies in the last couple of years with scientists and researchers from all over the world. And it's amazing because of the connection and how close we can get to our animals, and because we know everything about each individual. I just love how scientists come up with a question that they have about the wild population, and when they come to us and we're able to train behavior to help them answer those questions that they have and then relate it to the wild population, it is so rewarding.
Hey fans, if you are interested in us doing an online classroom on vocalizations, go ahead and send those wow emojis so that we'll know. Again, if you want us to do an online classroom here at Orca Encounter on vocalizations, send us those wow emojis.
You know, it'd be great too if we can figure out how to connect our underwater hydrophones that Dr. Bowles used to study vocalizations in orcas there's a way we could connect that to an online classroom talk on Facebook Live, I think that would be incredible for our fans to hear all the different vocalizations that are occurring. They'll vocalize because of excitement, they vocalize to communicate to one another. So it really is amazing. If you come here to the park and, you know, for some people that can get a little bit closer to the acrylic glass, you can simply put your ear up to the acrylic and you can hear all the different vocalizations.
Oh yeah, at our underwater viewing, yeah.
Our underwater viewing is a great opportunity. And we've had a lot of questions from people. Yes, underwater viewing at Orca Encounter is open. And so we have 11 killer whales here at SeaWorld San Diego, 5 males and 6 females. And that area is open during park hours. And so we'll move our whales around into different social groupings. Sometimes all 11 are together and we'll go back there. So that's really your opportunity to really get up close. And you'll see, you don't have a relationship at all with these whales, but you'll see Anya Makani, Kalia, Nakai. They'll all come up to that glass and they will interact with you because they're interested in you. We have some fans that come into the park and we know they have a little relationship with some of these whales, and it's just incredible. That connection can be made with our guests as well.
Okay, Fan Landry's asking, Kristi, are there any new behaviors the whales are learning currently?
Yes, we have a number of new behaviors. We have debuted a few of them. The spy hop is really a favorite of our guests. It's where the whales go into the center of the pool. And this behavior is used in wild orcas to get a good look at their surroundings when they're hunting. But we'll see the orcas here do it on their own time as well, just to kind of look around and see where the different whales or where the behaviorists are. But when we ask multiple whales to go out and do that, that seems to really be a favorite of our guests. We also have a few other behaviors that we're working on that we will hope to incorporate into Orca Encounter.
Who is that?
Yeah. Feels good.
Fans, are you seeing what Kalia's doing?
And let me go back to what I was mentioning earlier. So any of you that are concerned about the pressure of the water sprayer, we actually worked with the company with putting in the water sprayers, and we built the pressure up to a point that we knew would be acceptable. The whales told us, not interested in that pressure. We kept building it up to a point that we knew they found reinforcing, but of course would be okay for us to keep it on long term. And you can't see it right now, but over closer to our slide out area, we have some sensors as well. I don't know if you can get there's a white box. So there's a sensor there and then a sprayer right next to it. So when the whales slide up, they'll trigger that sensor and the water.
Do you see it, fans? Let's see. It's right over there. Right there.
See, today they're just not interested in going into up into the slide out area, and that's fine. That is a natural behavior as well. That's how killer whales will capture sea lions out in the wild. They'll actually beach themselves up on the land to grab their prey. So we've incorporated that into Orca Encounter. So people see the behaviors that you're seeing here at SeaWorld are all derived from natural behaviors. But what I think we're doing really well now is we're teaching you why. You know, why do they fling water out of the pool? Why do they go up into the slide out area? Why do they slide up over in the back area of our pool? Well, these are all behaviors that are done in the wild, and a lot of them have to do with hunting.
Why do some orcas have the curved dorsal fin, Kristi?
Great question. So our 3 largest males, not including Nakai, because Nakai is over 7,000 pounds, they have a curvature in their dorsal fin. Ulysses has a curve more towards the top. Keats is curved right along the surface of his back, and then Akaika has a curve somewhere towards the middle as well. So in the dorsal fin, there's thick fibrous connective tissue. If you're out there, grab onto your ear and move your ear around. You'll notice that your ear can be moved in all different shapes. It's similar to cartilage, but a lot more pliable. So as Nakai, Kalia, Amaya, Makani, as all the whales out here are swimming around, watch how much that dorsal fin moves. It's very pliable. So what we found is if an animal spends a lot of time at the surface of the water, which you can see, there's a lot of enrichment at the surface of the water in a zoo. their behaviorists that are at the surface, water sprayers, food, ice, toys. If they do spend a lot of time at the surface or they rest more on the surface, that dorsal fin in an adult male can reach up to 6 feet tall. That bend can occur in the dorsal fin. So let me tell you, this is an aesthetic issue. They look different, so of course people ask, well, why is that killer whale's dorsal fin curved and that one isn't? Well, it has a lot to do with their mobility, how much time they spend at the surface. So Porky, who's been in human care the longest, has the tallest and straightest dorsal fin of any of the females. And of course Nakai, who has reached maturity, you'll notice his dorsal fin is straight as well. But watch Nakai on his own time. You see that during this whole morning that we spent with you, have you seen any of the whales resting at the surface? No, these whales are very active, they're moving around, they're engaging with their behaviors and environment. But if we went back and we saw Keat right now, I would tell you, I would bet 99% he's probably resting at the surface. And that's just how Keat is. But of course, it's one of the challenges that we have is, you know, how can we get him more physically fit? So it's very important.
Hey fans, how many of you have watched the videos we've shared of seeing the whales up close, like the one of Amaya playing with the water sprays? If you have, go ahead and comment below and let us know. The person who was wearing the video glasses for that is none other than Kristi. So you got to see what it's like being a behaviorist. And if you like those type of short videos where she gets to share what it's like being a behaviorist, let us know. We love doing this for you fans.
Well, absolutely. You know, those glasses that Kat shared with us is really fun for us as well, because you do get to see it from our vantage point, which is completely different. And so I would love to create more so you can actually see that bonding time and how the whales relate and how they interact with each behaviorist is different. You know, some people have stronger connections with the whales than others, and different social structures. There's so many different variables that go into when you're observing these animals. So we enjoy watching these videos too.
Well, I'm going to share a comment. I'm going to read the comment that Fan Andrew said. Fan Andrew goes, "Me, I'm so cute." Did I get that right, Fan Andrew?
Oh, that's awesome. Well, fans, it's time to go and take care of our other whales as well. Again, we want to thank you so much for joining us. And from all the behaviorists here, including all of our zookeepers, we want to wish all of you out there a happy Zookeeper Week. Thank you so much for all you do for animals all around the world.
And there's Mom saying goodbye too.